Alright, hello everyone and welcome to my Football Manager 2017 save with Blackburn Rovers. It's episode 9 and shout out to the 55 subscribers I think I've got at this point. That's pretty cool. I wasn't really expecting to reach 50 this early, so shout out to everyone who's a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. So let's jump straight into this episode, which is up against the blue half of Manchester. We beat the red half of Manchester in the last episode. Now, we taught Mourinho a lesson. Now it's time to teach Claudio a lesson. So schedule-wise, I know at the end of the last episode I said I might do Fulham in the FA Cup again, but to be honest, I wasn't really in the mood. I kind of made a joke after we beat Man United that we were top of the league at the time, that we were going to start bottling the rest of the campaign. And that kind of started happening. We started giving away silly goals and we were struggling to find second goals. Strikers weren't performing. Everyone wasn't performing as a whole, and we drew against Ipswich, which was really poor, given that Ipswich, I think at the moment, are like a mid-table side. Really frustrated in the manner which Charlie Mulgrew scored an own goal, but we can let him off because he got the first goal against Man United. And we drew 1-1 against Birmingham City, who, again, are a team who really should have been looking to beat, particularly at home. We then lost away at Craven Cottage against Fulham. I made a joke in the last episode that Ryan Giggs was going to get revenge. Obviously, Man United legend, because we beat Man United and he definitely did that. But fortunately, we beat him in the FA Cup. And they didn't really field a weakened side. It's just championship teams for you. We started finding a little bit more consistency again. Danny Graham grabbing a 76-minute winner against Leeds. We then drew 1-1 to QPR. Danny Graham got injured. I think he's out for quite a while. He's out for 4 to 5 weeks, which is probably going to hurt our promotion push because he has been such a crucial player for us. He's scored 12 goals so far this season in 29 appearances. But he hasn't just been contributing with goals. He's also gotten 7 assists as well. He's been linking up really, really well with our other strikers in Sonogo and Sam Gallagher. So he's going to be missed. We then went away against Rotherham. Rotherham, again, a weak side that we should be beating, that we didn't. And then we beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-0. Elliot Bennett grabbed a goal, and then fortunately for us, in a game where even though Sheffield Wednesday went down to 10 men away from home, they still were the better side. We got really fortunate when Jack Hunt got his second yellow card of the game, and then fortunately Sam Gallagher popped up, particularly with Danny Graham kind of out, which meant that he really needed to step up and make it count. He popped up and grabbed our second, which kind of gave us something to hold on to, and we did. So as you can see, not poor form in comparison to how we did earlier on, but again, as you can see here, in September, we lost against Swansea, and then you can see the poor form appeared there. And when you're in the Championship, when you're still in the FA Cup, when your season's as long as it is when you're in this league, you've got to expect phases, I think, where your players just get tired, stop performing for whatever reason, come up against a set of fixtures, and it's natural. Unfortunately for us, we have dropped off from top of the league. We are a game behind Newcastle, though, so if we do win our next league game, that should see us leapfrogging back into first place. My main goal at the moment is to try and get as many points as possible against these playoff-demanding teams, to try and build up a gap between us in second place and them in the playoff spots. I'm not really bothered if Newcastle win the league, because we never set out this season to win the league. I just want to get back in the bloody Premier League and get some TV money in so I can start buying some players, because I do feel quite confident that we can stay in the Premier League if I do get a bit of money to spend. Transfer-wise, obviously, it's now the end of the transfer season, which we kind of covered a little bit in the last episode. I didn't have that much money to spend. Nana was a player that I wanted to bring in with a view to potentially buy him on a permanent at the end of his loan deal if he looked all right. And to be fair, he does look pretty good. But it turned out that after he joined us on loan, he agreed to join Stade de Reims, a Ligue 2 side. Looks like they are going to, fair play, it looks like they're going to get promoted to Ligue 1. But still, I kind of feel mugged off about it. I can't really send him back. The only reason I brought him in was because I wanted to check him out. And I wanted him to work hard to cement a place in our side. You know what I mean? Get the fans on his side, get me on his side. Want to fight for a contract. But down the back of his head, in my opinion, I think he just knows he's going to join a Ligue 1 side. So I've not really been playing him, to be honest. I wish I could send him back if I could. We've sent out some youngsters on loan. Gordon Gray's deal finally came through, and after 6 months at the club, or less even, he's joined Burton Albion. He's starting for them now, so hopefully that keeps him happy. To be fair, he's 36 years old. I understand why we've got him in real life, but even though we are still paying some of his wages, because Burton can't afford all of them, probably good riddance, to be honest, because I don't want negative people in the club, and I understand why he is being negative. He wants playtime. Joe Rankin Costello, he was a youngster. I kind of mentioned the fact that he potentially was going to leave us. I said he's highly rated for some reason on the game, but you look at his technical stats, even for 17, he's bloody dreadful. So the fact that we got 150, no offense to him in real life, of course, I think the fact that we got 150k for him was a pretty good deal for a team with finances as poor as ours. Our financial status is insecure. William Tomlinson has gone out to Coventry on loan, and Scott Wharton, who maybe, just maybe, if he can improve the odd attribute here and there, might be able to break into our first team if we do end up staying in the Championship next season. So that's it for transfers, really. I didn't want to disrupt the synergy we've currently got in the side, and that's what we've stuck with. So next up, we're against the blue half of Manchester. We, of course, beat the red half of Manchester in the previous round of the FA Cup, and now we're up against these lot. It's a shame that the game's away from home. I actually went to our FA Cup game against Man City a few years ago, where they beat us 5-0. We held them to, I think it was a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw at home. And then the replay was at their place, and we lost 5-0, but the atmosphere was terrific. So hopefully we'll have something very similar. I think it's always interesting when you're up against Premier League sides to see what their lineups are like, but it doesn't really seem like they've made that many changes. Nacho has come in from Real Madrid. It looks like he was a January signing. This Julian Weigl has been signed for £39.5 million from Dortmund. Okay, Guardiola. But other than that, everything looks pretty standard, to be honest. Aguero's out injured, thank God. David Silva's out injured, thank God. And Sane could appear, I'm not entirely sure yet. But at the end of the day, we're up against Manchester City. And look who's on the bench, Jack Byrne as well. I forgot to mention that. We terminated his loan. He only got one appearance under my management. I don't really feel like he fits the 4-4-2. He's just not physical enough for me. So, unfortunately, he has gone back to Man City. Let's just hope he doesn't come back to haunt us at the Etihad Stadium. And talking about the Etihad Stadium, I'll see you there in a few seconds' time. Let's hope we can get another win. Alright everyone, welcome to the Etihad Stadium, and all that time we spent looking at their team, well, it seems like the only player they're actually playing from the players we looked at is Nacho. Interestingly enough, I feel kind of mugged off that Guardiola's kind of gone for this youth team, other than obviously Iheanacho, Caballero and Nacho. I'm sure that these youngsters are all quality players, but this is just giving me even more of an incentive to want to win. So, let's do it. And just to clarify, we're not live because my match speed was kind of wrong. But hopefully now it's going to be right, and now we are live. So, here we go. Let's see what happens. Starting off defensive 5 minutes in, as we always do. Don't want to concede an early goal, particularly at the Etihad. Man City may be playing their youngsters, but I think these are probably still youngsters that they probably paid quite a lot of money for. So let's see what happens as Mulgrew pushes forward, wins the ball, and Sonogo's now able to pounce on the attack, but it's a good save from Caballero. And I think, to be fair, it was more of a really poor finish from Sonogo. even though he's second top scorer in the Championship, you'd be surprised how poor his finishing is sometimes. But look at this. Counter-attack straight on from Man City as Hendry gets a foot in. Raya will come out. He's, of course, our secondary goalkeeper behind Jason Steele. I've opted to put him in, give him a little bit of playtime. Hopefully he won't let me down. But here we go. Corner for us as Bennett whips the ball in. It's cleared by Sarmiento. Sam Gallagher passes the ball to Ben Marshall, who finds Hoban, who gets tackled by Francis. And now Man City are on the counter-attack, and we can see that a lot of Man City's threat is in fact coming from counter-attacking us from corners, where we're throwing far too many men forward. So that's something I'm going to have to try and change, and they have a lot of pace in that side. So fortunately, Paulo Hernandez there did get caught offside. So what I'm going to do is make some modifications to to our attacking corners to make sure that we have that extra bit of stability back there. Another thing I'm going to change as well is they've been playing with a lot of pace of Man City. So for that reason, I'm just going to tell them to stop trying to use the offside trap and just bring back our defensive line a little bit. Particularly when you consider how slow our defensive line is. But so far so good. We've now got a throw-in. And we've really got to win that ball. Henry does, but once again, we've sent far too many people forward. I think far too many people forward on the set piece, and that could be as a result of the attacking mentality as well. So I'm going to drop it down to standard and see what happens from that point onwards. Hopefully, Man City don't find the first goal of the game here. I might switch to get stuck in as well. These are youngsters. Let's see if we can bully them around a little bit, show them who's boss. They've been spoilt since day one. Got to show them what a real championship team's like. That you know, if they don't end up breaking into the Man City team in the future, chances are they are going to have to drop down the lower leagues. And Enacho has scored. To be fair, it was a good goal from Man City, but poor defensively from us. But again, I still feel like we've got time to maybe try and grab an equaliser. I'm not really pleased with... to be fair, we got enough people back, but the way that Tommy Hoban got wrong-footed there by Enacho was kind of poor. We'll leave things on standard for now. I'd be happy going in 1-0 down at half-time, give him a bit of a bollocky and try and rally him up. I'm going to try and demand a little bit more now, see what comes out of them. Given that they're youngsters, you know, I feel like if we can get a goal back, they'll start kind of, that voice in the back of their heads will start to play with them. So let's just see what happens as Corey Evans receives the ball from ex-Norwich man in Bennett as Gallagher links up with Yaya Sanogo. Obviously, we are missing Danny Graham. He's out injured. He's out injured for another 5 weeks, but this is a really nice bit of play from Ben Marshall. Oh my God, Sanogo hits the woodwork. And that's what I mean about Sanogo. He's had 2 chances now. I know they're not coming up as clear-cut chances, but he always has them chances right in front of goal, whether it's a one-on-one situation or a chance like that. And it just seems like his poor finishing constantly lets him down. If we take a look at his stats, he's got 11 composure and 9 finishing. And if you think about it, that's actually really poor for a player who's on loan from Arsenal that's playing at this level. So, yes, he scored a lot of goals for me, but... my God, if this guy just had slightly better finishing and composure, he would be a complete beast, particularly at this level, particularly at Championship level or against, you know, youth team level like Man City are right now. So there's the first yellow card of the game. We picked up quite a few yellow cards, so I'm not actually going to switch to get stuck in. And it looks like Houston, we have a problem. Possession-wise, we've not really struggled, which is kind of what you'd expect from Guardiola. But that's because, you know, we've not actually been playing too badly. We just got to try and think how we're going to potentially try and change this. I'm just going to tell them to stop trying to retain possession as much. Change to a normal tempo, tell them to get stuck in a little bit more. Tell them I am not happy with how they're playing. And leave things at that. It does mean, of course, that we are going to end up in that scenario once again. We're now playing with a higher line, which means that Man City could punish us that way, but at the same time, it also means that we'll be able to apply a little bit more pressure to them. That's obviously one of the benefits of playing with a high line. Try and apply pressure to the opposition. Long ball there from Conway, but Francis outraces Gallagher as he hoofs the ball forward. Quite unlike a bog standard, oh God, Guardiola side. And Iheanacho, well. Looks like he's got some finishing problems as well. He's really been causing problems for our defence. And we need to try and turn this around. Stephen Hendry's not really had the best game of his life. And it seems like every game I play, I always end up subbing the left back. Because he's playing poorly. And now I've got to think, Akpan's already on a yellow card. Let's move Evans to centre mid and bring on Jason Lowe at defensive mid. And just see if a couple of fresh legs will help. As Man City, Nacho from Real Madrid, recent transfer, lines up the throw-in. It's a shot from outside the box for Man City, but nothing for us to really worry about too much just yet. Sam Gallagher, not really had the best game of his career either, but I think it's maybe a little bit too harsh to try and sub him off right now. You can see the pressing game being actually played by Man City right now. It is causing our centre-backs problems, and it's not really something we saw when we played against Man United. But now Sam Gallagher has an option to turn the game around as Bennett finds... Oh, what a pass! And Yaya Sanogo's fluffed it again. He's gone and fluffed his lines again. Again, phenomenal save from Caballero, or just really poor finishing from Yaya Sanogo. Gutted. And now Man City are in a position to counter-attack again from a set piece, but Williams is in the right place at the right time as we look to launch our own counter-attack. Again, we're not playing too badly. I'm kind of... Oh, God. What a poor goal to concede. Inacho's caused our centre-backs all sorts of problems, and I'm not even sure if that should have been offside or not. I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable. No one tight enough to him. I don't know whether he was offside or not. Let's see that from a different angle. I want to see that from a different angle. I'm really not too pleased with that. See when the ball's played. Poof. Looks... It's tight, you know. It's tight, but it looks like it's just about onside. So I think we've just thrown the game. I don't really think we can expect to do much more. Other than hope that we can grab a goal back, maybe from a set piece or something along them lines, and that it'll give us another way back into the game. So, Kigbu is going to hoof the ball forward, but Marshall picks it up and tries to hoof back to Sanogo as Jason Lowe wins the ball in midfield. Stokes will head the ball over Caballero, and apparently that wasn't a foul. So, Anthony Stokes, subbed on right now for Sam Gallagher, manages to get a goal. And as the commentator just said... Sorry about that. The commentator just said we do actually now have something to work with. So Stokes deciding to... I tried to sell him in January. Danny Graham's injured. He's come in. And to be fair to him, he's just grabbed a goal. So now the question at hand is, what can we change to try and turn this around? We've got to start throwing what we can forward. Sweeper keeper mode on. Let's move these guys in. Conway right-footed. Bennett on the attack as well. Move Jason Lowe up. Like that. We don't really want to work the ball into the box. And I'm liking what I'm seeing there. So now we just got to kind of like hoof and hope. Unless Man City can get a third here, which, no, they're not going to. So Raya is going to catch the ball. The question is, can we counter-attack from this? I'm not quite sure why he just hoofed the ball to Stokes, but Sanogo's going to pick it up. Fantastic work rate from Sanogo. Impressed with that. As he finds Conway on the overlap, and can we get the equaliser? Go on, Sanogo! It's going to be Bennett. We've made it 2-2. From 2-0 down at the Etihad Stadium to 2-2. Really good play from Sanogo. You know what? He's fluffed his chances this game, but the way that he fought for that ball, played the ball out wide, and then got in the position at the back post and got the assist to Bennett was brilliant stuff. And now we switch back to our normal approach. So, obviously, can't really make any more subs, but I'm going to go a little bit more controlling, see if we can keep a little bit more of the ball. I'm kind of like torn between two things here. We can either push and try and get the win, or we can hold out for the draw and maybe see if we can bring Man City back to Ewood Park for the replay. And if that does happen, it's good for us because it means we'll generate money from a ticket revenue perspective, and it means we'll play them again where we've got the home advantage. The issue is, even though we'll have the home advantage, we've obviously shown we're no pushovers here, so Guardiola might actually play a stronger side. And we want to do well in the league, so if we do get knocked out, it could be a blessing in disguise. For that reason, I'm actually going to switch back to attacking and try and go for it. If we lose as a result of this, we lose. We focus on the league.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It looks like we're focusing on the league. Yeah, about that. I mean, I know that was an own goal to Raya, and I think it was a deserved own goal. I'm starting to regret taking Steele out. The defence as well, pretty poor. Both centre-backs have been completely decimated by Iheanacho. We still got retained possession and so forth on. Oh, bloody hell. Hoof and hope. We scored 2, which is what we're capable of. We came back into it from 2-0 down. We've shown Man City with no pushovers, but it was kind of their youth team. And I'm really not pleased with the performances shown by my 2 centre-backs. Oh, God, I thought that was a penalty for us. And that's surely going to be the final whistle now. I think all 3 goals we've conceded today, I think the goals we scored, at least the second goal we scored, was really well done. The Stokes goal was perhaps a little bit unlucky. I'm going to calmly tell them I'm not happy with them. And they like it, which is good. Good team talk. Particularly when you lose a game like this, always helps. Because if we go back to earlier in the season in September, when we went through that poor bit of form, it was actually when we lost to Swansea. And that loss and team talk, which was an episode, if you go back and take a look at it, went badly. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we started to struggle in the league. So it was a positive team talk. We've lost against Man City. But look, we're out the EFL Cup. We're out the FA Cup. We can focus on the bloody Championship. We've got, I can't count how many games there. It looks like we've got about 15 games left. So all we can do is just take each game as it comes and hope and pray that we can beat the teams that are around us, like your Derby Counties, like your Norwiches, etc., etc., or at least get draws against them. Try and build a gap between us and them in the promotion spots and see where that takes us. Am I disappointed to lose against Man City? Yes, we beat the red half of Manchester. We lost against the blue half of Manchester. But that's life. You can't win everything. And like I said, it could be a blessing in disguise because it now means we can focus on the league. Next episode coming at you could very well be Norwich away from home. That's going to be a really, really good game. Norwich in 6th place. Surprised to see Alex Neil still hasn't been sacked yet for 6th place, actually. But then again, they're only 4 points from automatic promotion, so they probably believe they can still do it. To be fair, if I was their manager, I'd probably believe they can still do it with the state of their squad. But until next time, I've been Kyanite. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and as always, thanks for watching.